Good morning. Thanks for joining. Actually, this is my first time at WAF, so we're very excited to be here to talk about the Greater Jieyang and Downtown Huilai project. But since this session is about smart cities, we wanted to spend a bit of time to share within our own firm how we look at cities, how we define cities, and how that applies to better city development. For us at Morrow, the foundation for how we define a city generally starts with the population. So today here we are in South Beach or Miami Beach, which is a city of only 80,000 people, right? So legislatively, it has all the rights of a city. But from a planning perspective, it doesn't make sense to have such a big auditorium or such a big convention center that could fit 15,000 people in a city of only 80,000 people, right? So definitely from a planning perspective, there is some kind of understanding of the relationship between this city and Miami and all of that. So this hexagonal model that is popping up on your screen now, this is the North Star within our own firm of how we anchor city development. And we kind of start with a population. So for us, cities generally have a population of between 3 to 5 million people. And within that, we anchor the land use and the different amenities that are required to enhance livability, to enhance economic progress, et cetera, et cetera. But beyond that, I think what's really important is that within that model itself, there is a very structured hierarchy of different, what we call urban cells. And within each urban cell, there are different strategies for implementation. And so, for example, in a smaller area that's maybe just a population or a planned population of 50 to 100,000 people, the strategy that we would implement there, one, would have to be fit for purpose, but also the hierarchy of that city or that region in relation to the rest of the urban area would be really, really important to maintain. Now, when cities are bigger than 5 million people, we have an approach for that as well. And we refer to that as constellation cities. And constellation cities, this approach allows us to maintain that hierarchy of different nodes or different urban cells within a city that can also be applied at a much larger scale. So this project that we did in Jieyang actually has 4 sub-cities. And Jieyang itself is quite huge. It's about 5,000 square kilometers. So it's, for us, a constellation city. Now, this work, maybe just to give some background at Morrow, we're only about 8 years old. And so we've done master planning in about 20 cities and have implemented this approach in all of them. But our founder and the founding team have actually been kind of distilling and updating this urban planning approach over the last 30 to 40 years. And is foundationally based on Singapore's urban development approach. And if that's something we can maybe talk about later on, about how we have used a lot of the success factors from Singapore's urban development story and applied it to many, many cities around the world. So maybe we'll quickly dive into Jieyang. Like I said, it's a huge project. It's 5,000 square kilometers. And we were asked to do 3 different scales. So at the first scale, we did a strategic master plan for the whole site, 5,000 square kilometers. And then within that, the client, which is the government, wanted us to look at developing an urban center towards the south, along the south coast. And that is Huilai. And then a third scale that we worked on is downtown Huilai, and later Kenan will show some renderings and strategies for that as well. But even before we apply our own methodology, and we refer to that as intelligent planning. Maybe we need a rebrand around that. But before we even start to think about how we apply intelligent planning, we do a very kind of large-scale contextual look at the city's context. So Jieyang lies about 150 kilometers east of the Greater Bay Area in China. For those who maybe don't know, the Greater Bay Area is home to 85 million people and some of the most industrially advanced cities in the world. So Shenzhen, Guangzhou, where most of the stuff everyone is wearing today is made, is in this area. And it's one of the richest parts of Asia. But 150 kilometers east is Jieyang, and actually, even though the population density is quite high, the GDP per capita is much lower. So when we were doing that positioning, we felt from the start that for this city to actually work and for our master plan to actually make sense, the positioning has to be that Jieyang needs to be an engine for economic growth in eastern Guangdong, to rely on the fact that it's so close to the Greater Bay Area, and actually sits along a future transport corridor between the southeast and the southwest of China. So once we had that positioning, we went back to our intelligent planning approach and looked at the 3 different scales that we were asked to do and applied strategic pathways or strategies for each scale. And to walk you through those in more detail, here's Kanan.
Thank you, Daniel. Let me go through the 6 strategies over the 3 scales. And first, on the screen, you can see this is constellation scales, and we are not covering the Jieyang city itself. It is included 3 interconnected cities, and we identify every single city's the growth potential and its urban linkages. And in addition, we try to reserve the large green corridors to prevent the urban sprawl. And the second strategy is the integration. We propose the comprehensive road networks. On one hand, we enhance the intercities mobility, but on the other hand, we try to minimize the impact to the nature. And from this drawing, you can see the black color and the gray color are urban zones. And nature and the mountain nature place take the lead of the whole environment. So we aim to create a shared home for human life and biodiversity. As a planner, it is very important to take the responsibility to manage not just the human beings' needs and to balance the nature and the human is very important in today's topic, talk about smart city. And then if you zoom into the south on the screen, you can see this is Jieyang's 2 million people population size. And I will quickly guide you how the intelligent planning works. When we do the intelligent planning, the first step is we create this kind of a blue and green corridor. And this is, we don't allow any new development to take place. And secondly, we build the connectivity. And thirdly, we put the urban cells and the urban functions into it. It is quite complex situation, and I won't go to details here. And you can see from the left corner, there is the city model. It is derived from our standard city models, but we customized into the local context. And we put everything together, and we call it the integrated system of systems. And this is a third scale, is downtown Huilai. And we honored tradition and while embracing the modality into our urban design. And lastly, I will quickly go to the 7 key focus areas for implementation by 2030. This is the first area. It's like the high-speed rail transportation hub. That is a current situation, and this is how we envision in the future. And this is from the other angle. The CBD area, they have a lot of rich water, and we reshaped it into the inner sea harbor. And this is the coastal area. We try to, based on the existing situation, to find the inner beauty of the nature. This is similarly, ecological wetland area. We don't dominate the design. We follow the nature asked us to do. This is Innovation Park. We try to build the focused and the calm environment for the creativity and innovation. They have the very beautiful nature beach, but no activity. We try to introduce a range of the programs and the public activities here. This is building on the existing fish market. We form the comprehensive fisherman's wharf to both promote the city life and tourist opportunity. Yeah, I just quickly go to this. Thank you.